Aren't you supposed to be watching the rod? Nah, that's probably fine. A couple videos ago, I started working on a cozy open-world minigolf game, and since then I have made a lot of progress. At the end of the last devlog, I said that I was working on the system that lets you enter houses, but that quickly devolved into the project breaking every time I opened it. The reason for this was that I was trying to get an entirely different scene for the houses, and Godot didn't like that. No matter how hard I tried to fix it, absolutely nothing was working. So I decided to change gears into making my game feel more alive using NPCs. And there were 3 different characters that I drew first. Their names are Guy, Snitch, and for some reason, my brain wanted to combine the word chef with the name Jeffrey. So here we have Jeffrey. With those 3 NPCs drawn, I could start working on the dialogue system. This was pretty easy to make, and I have decided to spare you no details of how I did this. Here we go. I made it. Out of these 3 NPCs I started with, Snitch is definitely my favorite. Especially this line. In the spirit of Halloween, I can probably even make a costume with Snitch. Apparently I can't. Then, since the world was pretty much empty still, considering that I hadn't worked on the Snowy Mountains area at all except for adding outlines in the music, so I got to work on making it look less dormant. I made a variant of the bushes and trees to go in the Snowy Mountains, and I also designed an NPC which is a penguin who is going to live in this area. It's also an Easter egg, so if you think you know what it's referencing, leave a comment telling me what you think it is. In the last devlog, I mentioned a beach area. For this part of the map, I didn't want to just be a generic tree variant. Beaches usually don't have pine trees. At least, I think. So I'm gonna make some palm trees instead. After the world was finished, I decided it was time to try making doors work again. Sometimes my brain doesn't like to think things logically, so this was really weird. I came up with the genius idea of making every building in the same scene as the main islands. This worked surprisingly well. Nothing broke when I tried to go into the player's house, and it just kinda worked. I then streamed myself designing the interior of the player's house, and it was this stream that made me realize that people don't watch game dev streams very much. Now that I had that done, I started working on what took the longest: fishing and currency. Usually, fishing in video games isn't very fun. My favorite fishing minigame comes from the game Kirby in the Forgotten Land. It shows a random button and you have to click it, and then it does that a few more times until you get the fish. And I wanted to slightly imitate this. The idea was that if you go up next to a pond and press E twice, an arrow key would appear and the player would have to spam it as fast as humanly possible. This worked also surprisingly well. It was fun to just go fishing even before you could get cash from it. Now we can start on currency. In the corner of the screen, there is a UI element that will count up based on the value of the fish. For example, the crab and the salmon have very different values. The salmon is worth 10 coins, and the crab is worth 50. These are not the only 2 fish in the game by any means, but you get the point. Actually, I don't get the point. Did I ask? After that, I started putting a lot more around the map, such as a small island, 5 more NPCs, and more buildings. The reason I haven't made much progress is that Silksong came out and I got distracted playing it, but I am happy to announce that I am doing a crowdfunding on itch.io. This works because I got creative by making it so you can pay as much as you want as long as it's over 1 cent, and you'll be able to download a thankyou.txt. The reason for itch instead of something like Kickstarter is because I can't really afford all or nothing. Know that if you choose to support the development, you are not getting any gain from it. It is just a simple thank you message. You will be able to get the game after it releases though. The crowdfunding goes live the second the video releases. The link will be in the description. Anyways, thank you for 600 subscribers, and I will see you next time.